2 different job offers. I got massive raise.
Okay, so say that
Sugar
louder for
hurt.
the people in the back, right? A massive raise. So tell everyone, you were a teacher before, right?
Yes, I was a teacher, teaching middle school. I've also taught high school, and I just decided that it was a time for something new. And I think for me, it was really daunting, the thought of switching over and figuring out how do I put everything in a package that shows the outside world that I can do what they want me to do with my teacher lingo.
What are you doing now?
I took actually a state position, so I'm still kind of a public employee per se. But my position is an IT coordinator. It's a project management position to basically be the go-between to make sure that all of the payments and all of the financial systems for this state agency get out the door properly.
So you play a very important role, right? You make sure everyone gets paid.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
That's a very important role. So this is an IT and a project management role
Mm-hmm.
straight out of education.
Yes,
And I believe you had another offer as well, right? There were
I
multiple job
did.
offers that you had at the
Yes, I
same
did.
time.
I did. I had another IT position. So that one was in a school being like the IT tech person. I think that I just felt like this government position was more of a stretch, more of an exciting learning new phase for me for my life.
So how is life better?
I would say that what is expected of me on a day to day basis is like night and day different. Um, like the things that like I get maybe aggravated or frustrated about, like I'm maybe going from here to here as far as my aggravation versus like going from here to like up here all the way. And then like when I was teaching that really stuck with me. Like I feel like I was carrying around that stress and that's not how I feel right now at all.
You look so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
Like life is like happier and life is more relaxed. So you said you didn't think you were going to be sitting here in this seat here in the success stories. So what was the journey like? What was it like to try to get out of the classroom?
It was, I would say, it felt like a long journey as I was in it. And I didn't, it also felt like a whole lot of nothing, nothing, nothing happening. And then all of a sudden I have 2 job offers coming in. There was a lot of rejection along the way. But I think ultimately I was able to get in the position that was meant for me.
I'm so happy for you. What was it like? How did I help you out? What was the process like of us working together?
We went through every single word in my resume, in my cover letter, on my LinkedIn, and like maybe if someone's thinking like, "Oh, I'm going to get a career coach and they're going to like write all these things for me." No, that is not the Cindy way. The Cindy way is to kick your butt so that you can do it for yourself and move yourself forward. And to have like I don't think that if I hadn't been working with you, I would have had the confidence to apply for the job that I have now. I think I would have talked myself out of it. But because we spent so much time going so in depth into my documents and like talking through the reasoning beside every single word that was on there, it really gave me a lot of confidence.
Well, thank you. Right? Like the project management experience that you had, the IT
Mm-hmm.
experience that you had, showing the parallels between what you did before to what you were going towards.
Yeah,
Right? And then changing up the resumes because they were different jobs,
for
right? The
sure.
different jobs that you were applying for, they were very, very different jobs.
Yeah, I had kind of like project management stuff. I had the stuff that was a little more on the IT. I also did some learning and development applications. So really having, so like if I needed to start doing that again, I would have kind of those starting places on those categories that I could then build off of going forward.
I love that. I love that. So, and what about the interview process? It was pretty grueling. What about the interview process?
So, The interview process for me was difficult getting started. Like I don't know why I like built up this like huge amount of anxiety inside of like I think feeling like imposter syndrome, I think. Like how can I explain what I've done but in a completely different verbiage than what I'm used to explaining things in, and trying to take off my teacher hat and put on like an employee business worker hat in order to better show. And I also think a lot of what you do as a teacher, you kind of like put off as like, oh, that wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I'm not used to like really showing off essentially and talking about accomplishments that I've had.
It's a really great point. Teachers do that, women do that. You're falling into both categories, right? Like we do those things, right? Like I was
Mm-hmm.
just doing my job. Oh, it's not a big deal, right? And you're not, and the thing about teachers is there's so much about the team, right? That together
Mm-hmm.
everyone achieves more rather than I did this, I accomplished that. So it's really hard for teachers to get past that imposter syndrome and realize, no, I really did this. No, I'm different than other teachers. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I've done.
Yeah, and I think once I was able to get over that, it made a huge difference. And ultimately, the position that I have, it was a very competitive pool, and they really only cut it down to about 4 people. And I think that ultimately, based off of the feedback that I've gotten from my boss, that what really got me the job, what got me the position was the fact that I am so personable, that I have this personality, that I have all these skills that I've honed in putting out there as an educator.
I love that you got that feedback from your boss. And there was a lot, right? There was a project that had to be
Mhm.
done throughout this, right? This was, for people who think that it's like a one and done. It wasn't a one and done.
Yeah, no, I applied to this job in like early to mid April, and I got the offer the beginning of August. So it was a long process.
Right. And right now, I don't know when people are watching. Right now, we're recording this. We're in the beginning of September that we're recording this. But yeah,
Yeah, so I've been about a month now since I started.
and what strikes you in this job that you see all these new opportunities for your life, for your growth, for your happiness?
I think I like the fact that I have time to focus on doing things well. I hate being spread too thin. I hate like just doing something and knowing like, okay, I just have to do it and get it done and move on. Like I want to be able to take my time and do a really good job on something. And I also think that the work ethic that I really have cultivated as a teacher is very much being seen. Like,
And appreciated,
yeah,
not just seen, but like seen and appreciated,
like
recognized.
I think in the back of my head, I would assume like, oh, that's just how people are. But like, I don't know that that actually is the case.
Right, yeah, you're seeing a different side, right, a different side of the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
working there, working for the government. So what specifically made you decide that we should be working together?
Um, I think just the fact that I knew that you focused on teachers, that you focused on women, and I just watched some of your videos and I felt like, okay, this could be someone that I could really connect with. And then after the introductory call, I was like, okay, I'm sold. Like, this is the person that I want to work with. This is the person who I think is going to push me to be the best. Um, is also not going to just let me like slide and let them do all the work. So it really was, it's a, like you have a program where it's a growth program. Like you're not trying to get people to come back and do your program every couple of years when they need a new job.
No, no. I mean, I will tell you, I do have clients that come back to me. We have a session here or there where it's like, hey, I want to go for this other job. I've been in this job for a couple of years and I want to do this other job, or I want to get a promotion or help me negotiate this raise. And I stay in touch with my clients and I love that. But the idea is that like you said, like you learn how to do this. Like you
Mm-hmm.
know how to do your resume. You know how to do your cover letter. If you ever want to look for another job, you know how to do this and you have the confidence, right? We've practiced, you know how to interview, you know how to do all those things.
Yeah. And I think that's a very different business model than most of the career coaches that I saw out there
So
when I was doing the searching.
what were you seeing?
Either that people were like, okay, you pay by the session, or there were ones that you would pay, like even kind of not that far off of how much I paid for your services for just watching their classes. And the fact that yours was classes and I get to work with you one on one, it just felt like a really amazing value.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that hand holding, kick you in the butt. We have the modules, but like we work together every week. Like
Mm-hmm.
we keep you motivated. I keep you motivated. It's just me, right? I keep you motivated. I keep you
You sure
inspired.
you're
We
not
work.
like five people behind the scenes?
I'll look around, I'll see. Nope, it's just me, right? So that you stay on point in what you're doing. Yeah, and it's not just a resume. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not just per diem, because how many times when things got tough might you have given up?
A lot of times.
A lot of times, right? If it's not somebody being like, nope, come on, Arielle, you could do this, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
do this. Come on. Yep, it hasn't been that long that you've been waiting. Yep, let's apply for this one. Yep, let's do this one. Let's prepare for the next interview.
Yeah, I think you spend a lot of time being like, okay, calm down. You're fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. You aren't, like, anytime that I would be like, oh my God, they said that they need another 2 more weeks before they make a decision, you'd be like, that's fine. You're still in the running. Like, this is good news. And I'd be like, okay, fine.
Right. And right, yeah. And it was through a bunch of things, right? Like you moved, you had all kinds of things going
Mm-hmm.
on, and seeing you through all of that.
Yeah, that was another aspect I guess I didn't touch on, was the fact that I was moving states in the middle of this process.
Right? And pretty soon having a beautiful new place to live in, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
temporary, and like so much of your life has changed
Yeah,
since the person I met before,
yeah. And I would say it still doesn't feel 100% real. I don't know when it's going to start feeling 100% real.
because it's too good, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't believe that the school year has started and that you're not back in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. Like, I saw the school supplies being put out at Target this summer, and I was like freaking out. And my wife was like, that doesn't impact you anymore. Like, let it
You
go.
don't have to buy these things anymore. You're done with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it feel freeing?
Yeah.
I am so happy for you. What is your advice for anybody that is looking to transition out of education or looking to make a pivot in their career? What is your advice for them?
So I think that I would say it's not a automatically tomorrow you're going to have a solution process. You got to stick with the process. You also have to, there's so much noise out there. Like, you'll
Yeah.
see so many posts like on LinkedIn where people are like, I've applied to like 500 different companies and nobody's getting back to me, and there's just something wrong and blah 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 blah. And you just have to like block all of that out,
Yes, I'm
because
always telling people to like tune out the chatter.
mhm,
What
because
else?
like your program is not quantity. It's not go apply to 500 million different jobs. It's take your time and make sure that you stand out for the jobs that you do apply to.
Exactly. Like I recommend 4 to 8 jobs a week to my clients, not 500 jobs. Like that's insane.
And like 4 to 8, I feel like if someone doesn't necessarily know your process, they'll be like, oh, that's not that much. But it is a commitment, and you need to like schedule it out, and you need to have some way of keeping yourself accountable for following like I would be happy if I was getting one job application a day, because I was spending time to go in and completely tailor that resume, that cover letter, everything to that job.
And we talked about like the time blocking, and that's part of the modules,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of what we did. And in the end, it all paid off, right? Two different
Yeah,
job offers.
2 different job offers. I got a massive raise,
Okay, so say
which
that
doesn't
louder for
hurt.
the people in the back, right? A massive raise.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's a big thing teachers are worried about. Teachers are
Mm-hmm.
worried that if they leave education, if they leave the classroom, they're going to earn less money. You get a massive raise.
Yeah,
And you're working for the state. Fantastic benefits.
for sure.
Okay. So I am so proud of you. I wish you continued success. I know that you are absolutely going to thrive in this
Thank
position.
you.